Hello and welcome to Echoes of the Word. If these reflections help you grow in faith, please subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Today I want to begin with a question. Have you ever said something in anger that you wished you could take back? Most of us have. Recently I read the testimony of a manager who wrote after losing control during a meeting. He said, "I worked for years to build my career, and in one moment of anger I almost destroyed it." What shocked him was not the outburst itself. What shocked him was discovering how much anger had been growing inside him long before anyone saw it. Researchers who study workplace conflict tell us that anger is often fueled by burnout, emotional exhaustion, unmet expectations, stress, and wounded pride. One expert observed that burnout lowers our threshold for anger. Perhaps that explains why many people today seem quicker to react, quicker to argue, and quicker to break relationships. But it raises an important question. Is anger simply caused by our circumstances? Or is there something deeper happening inside us? Think even bigger. In 1914, the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand helped ignite World War I. Behind that single event were years of resentment, national pride, hostility, and unresolved tensions. What began in hearts eventually became a global tragedy. Every war begins somewhere. Every broken family begins somewhere. Every shattered friendship begins somewhere. Usually, it begins in the human heart. Jesus understood this long before psychologists, historians, and sociologists. That is why today's gospel is so challenging. Jesus says, "Unless your righteousness surpasses that of the scribes and Pharisees, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven." For the people listening, those words must have sounded impossible. The Pharisees were considered the spiritual giants of Israel. They prayed faithfully. They fasted regularly. They knew the scriptures. They carefully observed religious laws. If their righteousness was not enough, who could possibly be saved? That is exactly the question Jesus wanted his listeners to ask. Then Jesus takes one of the most familiar commandments. "You shall not kill." Most of us immediately breathe a sigh of relief. I've never murdered anyone. But Jesus does not stop there. He asks, "Have you been angry with your brother or sister?" Suddenly the commandment becomes much more personal. Now, Jesus is not saying that every experience of anger is sinful. There is such a thing as righteous anger. Jesus himself was angry when he cleansed the temple. Anger can be a natural response to injustice, cruelty, or evil. The question is not whether we feel anger. The question is what we do with it. Do we allow anger to become bitterness? Do we allow anger to become hatred? Do we allow anger to become revenge? That is what Jesus condemns. The Pharisees focused on external behavior. Jesus focuses on the heart. And here Jesus places a mirror before us. A mirror cannot wash your face. It can only reveal the dirt. The law functions like a mirror. We look into it and discover who we really are. We say, "I haven't killed." Jesus asks, "Have you hated?" We say, "I haven't harmed anyone." Jesus asks, "Have you insulted someone? Refused forgiveness? Held a grudge?" Suddenly we realize the problem is deeper than we thought. But God never gives us a mirror without also providing water. The law reveals the wound. Christ heals the wound. The law exposes the sin. Christ forgives the sin. The law tells us the truth about ourselves. Christ reveals the truth about God's mercy. That is the good news. The gospel is not that good people go to heaven. The gospel is that forgiven people become new people. Jesus fulfilled what we could never fulfill. He carried every grudge, every hatred, every wound, every failure of love to the cross. He took upon himself the sins of the world so that we might receive his righteousness. We are saved not because we are good enough. We are saved because Christ is. Today the church celebrates Saint Barnabas. His name means, son of encouragement. Imagine the situation. Saul had persecuted Christians. People were terrified of him. Families had suffered because of him. When Saul converted, nobody trusted him. Nobody wanted him near the Christian community. Except one man. Barnabas. Barnabas took Saul by the hand and brought him to the apostles. He risked his own reputation to build a bridge where everyone else was building walls. That is what encouragement looks like. That is what reconciliation looks like. Where others saw an enemy, Barnabas saw a future saint. Where others saw danger, Barnabas saw grace at work. Barnabas understood something beautiful. The opposite of murder is not merely avoiding violence. The opposite of murder is learning to love. The opposite of hatred is reconciliation. The opposite of division is communion. The opposite of anger is not indifference. It is peace. That is why Saint Francis prayed, "Lord, make me an instrument of your peace." That is why peacemakers change families, communities, and even history. Every war begins in a human heart. But every peace treaty begins there too. So today I invite you to think of just one person. One person whose name disturbs your peace. One person you struggle to forgive. One person you may need to encourage. One person with whom God may be asking you to be reconciled. Jesus says, "First be reconciled. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today." My brothers and sisters, today's gospel teaches us three great truths. God's holiness is greater than we imagine. Our brokenness is deeper than we realize. And Christ's grace is more powerful than we dare to hope. The righteousness that saves us is not our own. It is the righteousness of Jesus Christ. Before this day ends, become a Barnabas for someone. Make a phone call. Send a message. Offer forgiveness. Speak a word of encouragement. Build a bridge. Become a peacemaker. For blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. Amen. If this reflection touched your heart, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to Echoes of the Word. Until next time, may God bless you and fill your heart with His peace.